This is the Mad Dragons Podcast.
G'day, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Mad Dragons Podcast. It is Team List Tuesday with the Dragons taking on the Roosters in the traditional ANZAC Day clash, where we pay tribute to all the brave men and women who have served and those who made the ultimate sacrifice. The Dragons going down by 6 points to Canberra last Sunday, ensuring the curse continues down in the nation's capital, while the Roosters conceded 3 unanswered tries in the second half, going down to the Sharks 22 points to 12. We'll go through the team list in a moment, but before we do, joining us on the panel tonight is Big T and Chloe. Our resident NRLW expert, Jesse, will be joining us shortly, so we'll just jump straight into the team list. Now, there's only one change in the starting side, with Ben Murdoch-Masila replacing Jaden Sewer, who will be out for the next few weeks. So the fullback is Tyrell Sloan. The wingers are Matt Feeney and Tautau Moga. The centres are Moses Sully and Zach Lomax, Junior Ramone and Ben Hunt in the halves. The forward pack is Zane Musgrove, Blake Laurie and Moses Mbai. The second row is Ben Murdoch-Masila and Jack Bird, with Jack DeBellin locking down the scrum. And on the bench is Jacob Little, Michael Mollo, Toby Couchman, and Josh Kerr. And on the extended bench, Jaden Hunt, Max Feeney, Jaden Sullivan, Billy Burns, and Viliami Fafita. And we'll have the pleasure of Adam G as the man in the middle this week. So, Big T, I'll throw the first question over to you. What changes, if any, were you expecting this week after last week, given that the only forced change that we have is with Jaden Sewer?
Hey, book that, mate. Changes? We've got the same team every week. Doesn't change. Musgrove in, Kerr in, BMM, Ben Murdoch-Masila in, out. I don't think he knows what he's doing.
Well, there's an old adage, if it ain't broke, don't fix it, but I don't think that really applies here.
Are we really broken, though?
Well, 2 wins out of 6 would suggest yes.
All right. We'll go with that. We'll talk about that later when we we'll get into that later.
Yep. Now, Big T, I'll stay with you.
Yes.
So we'll look at the Roosters side with you a little bit later, but what would you say our chances are against the Roosters with the team that Hawks picked?
Like I just said, he's picked the same side. We've got Max Feeney, Jaden Sullivan, Billy Burns, and our own Fafita on the extended bench. But I don't expect them to get any run time in the game. Our Dragons can do anything. They can. I think they're one of the, on paper, the better sides in the comp, but they just can't get it together. They just can't seem to form combinations. But I think on Anzac Day, anything can happen. I think we've got a chance. Roosters aren't playing too well either, so I think we've got a chance.
Yeah, I mean, as long as we take the field with, we've got at least a chance, if not a very good one. But funnier things have happened, especially on Anzac Day. So I guess we'll see what we see. So Chloe, the Anzac Day clash, always a massive game for both for the entire rugby league community, but specifically for Dragons and Roosters fans. Do you think the Dragons are up to the task the way that we've been playing?
With the way we're playing, it's pretty shit. So I hope that this break will give them a chance to reconnect as a team, talk to each other, sort out the issues. If they've got issues between each other, sort them out and have a good, hard, training session. Because Anzac Day is the most amazing and important day, and the game, the atmosphere. So I think the boys should rip in. And I think this time, because I was a bit silly. I thought there was an actual game on the weekend. Then we had the Roosters, but then we had a big gap. So I think hopefully this big gap will give them a chance to rebirth, maybe, start new. Hopefully we can win.
Yeah, who knows? This could be the start of a 6 or 7 game run that makes Hook look like an absolute genius, and all this talk of him being replaced, it sort of goes away. But we'll see what happens. So we'll go straight into Behind Enemy Lines. Now, we're joined by a very special guest tonight, my good mate and Roosters development player, Alex Charles. Alex, thanks so much for joining us, mate. Big T, over to you.
G'day, Dragons fans. I'm Big T, and this is Behind Enemy Lines. Before I bring the guest in, I'll run through the Roosters team. We've got Teddy at the back, Tupu and Paulo on the wings, Swalihi and Momorowski in the centres, Manu, he's an interesting selection, and Kiri in the halves, big Jared, Warrior, Hargraves, Brandon Smith and Collins up front, Egan Butcher, the returning Angus Crichton, Victor Radley, Victor the Inflictor Radley. On the bench, we've got ex-Dragon Drew Hutchison, May Tupanua and Big Bopper Matty Lodge. 18th man, Corey Allen. All right, Alex, welcome, mate. Welcome to the Mad Dragons podcast.
Thanks for having me. It's great to be here.
It's good to have you, mate. Before we start, who did you support growing up?
Funnily enough, it was the Roosters.
Roosters? Living the dream, mate.
Yeah, exactly.
Just like our
Doesn't
old
get much better
mate,
than this.
Sharon Woods. Oh, mate, he loves playing for Manly. All right, development player at the Roosters. What does that mean? And do you get a chance to play NRL?
Yeah. So that's obviously the big goal. But development play, you start from a young age. You go through all these training procedures and all that kind of stuff. You start in SG ball, move your way up. You're always there for the team. And then when you get old enough, they let you do, at first, you do 2 to 3 weeks in the pre-season with the first graders. And depending on how you go, they ask you to come back. So luckily I was fortunate enough to get asked to come back. So most of the time I'm spending my days at Moore Park running drills with the boys and, doing what I love to do.
Oh, that's cool, mate. So we might see you in the NRL sometime this year.
Hope so.
Be good to see you, mate. I'll be right behind you. As long as you're not playing the Dragons. Anyway, mate, what happened last week? The Roosters, mate. Capitulation, discipline. 46 missed tackles, 14 penalties, 3 players sin bin. You lost the Cheese, you lost Radley, you lost Butcher. Gone out the window. What happened and what did Robbo say?
I don't exactly know what he said on the day. I wasn't there on the day. But I think we started all at it, and then once we started making all these errors, obviously you just good after that. We kept making errors, trying to do the same thing, even though it wasn't working. Then once we lost all our discipline at the end, and Sharks just really took advantage of that.
They did, didn't they? They it was like a feeding frenzy. The Sharks were just all over you.
They were.
All right.
But
we'll go.
One of our big things that Trent was.
All right, we'll go on. We'll go on with this week's game. Big ins, big outs. Which one do you want to start with? The ins or the outs?
Oh, the ins. They're the exciting ones.
All right. The ins. You got Crichton back. He's a big in for the club. What does he bring back to the team?
He brings a lot back. He's one of our most valued forwards in the second row. He's got the experience. He brings us closer together as a team, and his attitude on the field, and even when he's on the sideline, it's just great to have.
And he's good because he's in the sort of same position as you, isn't he? He's in the back row. You're a back rower.
Yeah.
So you learn a lot from him.
And he works. yeah, no, we'll be seeing a lot of good stuff from him. He's pretty
How was he
excited
at
to come
training?
back.
Like coming back to training, how long has he been back?
He's been back for a couple of weeks now.
Yeah.
He slowly got back into it, and yeah, no, he was just happy to be back, and it's as if he never left. He's still doing what he does. Yeah, no, he's kept his fitness up, so he's good to go.
Okay, we'll have a look at the outs now. Sam Walker out the door. See you later. Nearly out of the whole squad. Like he's down in the down in the reserves for the reserves. He's back. He's out, but you moved Manu to the halves. What do you lose with Sam Walker going? What do you get with Manu back?
Oh, we lose a lot of creativity with Sam Walker. I think he's a lot more. He relies on his players around him, where Manu backs himself a lot more. You know what we see of Manu when he's wearing the number 6, he does a lot for himself as well as get the team to help him out. Where I think Sam Walker, obviously, he's really young. He's got a lot of pressure on him, and the last few games, he's just been getting targeted the most. I think it would be good for him to have a good break, see how he goes, and yeah, I don't think we could pick anyone better than Manu taking the role.
Yeah, I could see in the future that the younger players there's going to be an NRL mandate saying you can play them for 4 games and then you've got to rest them. You know, like, because playing NRL in, day out for a 21-year-old or 20-year-old, that's got to be tough. Like, how do you handle it?
Oh, not too well. I'm pretty prone to getting injured, but prone to getting injured. But Stanmore, he handles it really well. He comes to training every day. He doesn't miss days. He's always there, and he takes the hits. He takes them pretty well. Where, yeah, unfortunately, myself, I've had a few big hits get injured, but for his size and what he does, it's incredible what he can do.
He's a good little player. I can't wait to see him in the coming years when he develops into a Cooper Cronk, into a Andrew Johns, you know what I mean? One of those top echelon players.
Yeah.
And I'm sure he will. He's that type of player at the moment. He made me laugh a couple of years ago when he ran 35 metres, 40 metres backwards at the end of the game to run out the clock. Anyway, has anybody else got any questions for our young mate Alex?
I do. Alex, with like the likes of Jared Weir-Hargreaves and like Tedesco, how are they in the team supporting the young guys coming up for like you? Do they support you with your game plan or anything?
No, yeah, they definitely do. So me personally, I'm more closer with Jared, and he's always talking about ways to improve training, all that kind of stuff. Tedesco, he's great. He's really supportive. He, has his own way of expressing it though. He's not as vocal and out there as Jared is, but Jared, as Jared is, he's one of the oldest boys there. He's been there the longest. It's quite good having him on in your ear, telling you how to do things, giving you tips here and there. So yeah, he's pretty great.
Thanks. Jesse?
Hey Alex, my name's Jesse. So my question is regarding there's been memorable Anzac Day games over the years. Without any bias, what would you say is the most memorable Anzac Day game in your opinion?
Mine would definitely have to be the 2012 game. It was one of I just remember because I used to love watching Anthony Minicelli play. So yeah, as you guys probably know, we did lose that game, but yeah, the style that the Roosters played that game, I quite enjoyed watching that.
I'll bring that game up a little later on.
love that, wouldn't you?
I love that game. That was one of the favourites too.
It's a cracker of a game. Okay, so Alex, I got a question from Captain Donny, who wasn't able to be here tonight. He's got babysitting duties. Now, his question is, what extra things happen pre and post game with an Anzac Day fixture that's different to what you'd normally do for a regular season game?
We do a lot more. Like, it's obviously Anzac Day. It's a lot more of a respectful thing that we have to do. So we do a lot more team gathering stuff. Obviously, there's just that line of respect for everything. You know, we're going out there to play, not just for our team and for our, the jersey. It's just we're fighting. We're playing for Anzac to, in our own respect of what happened. I think some players definitely do take that as a much more emotional game. But yeah, the preparation's not as different as most people would expect it to be. Like the only thing that we have had to do this week is change our training uniform to our Anzac jersey colour. So we have to wear the light blue for the whole week to show our respect for Anzac, and yeah.
Anyone else got any questions? Jesse,
All right, then.
you had another one?
Yes. So my question is, so Anzac Day is probably arguably the biggest game of the year outside of State of Origin, Test matches, and finals footy. What are your thoughts on the prices for the Dragons of Supporters Bay that the Roosters have I don't know if it's the Roosters or Ticket Tech, I don't know, but I'm hearing it is the Roosters. What are your thoughts on putting the tickets up for the Dragon Supporters Bay? It's supposed to be a big game, like the biggest game of the year and it's supposed to have you want as many Roosters fans and as many Dragons fans as in the stadium as well. There's a lot of families that wouldn't be able to afford some of these tickets. Yeah, what are your thoughts on that? Like the Roosters, I think, should be inclusive and let all the other team, the Dragons fans enjoy the game as well, not just jack up the prices, because a lot of young families can't afford $100 for a game of footy.
Yeah, I actually wasn't even aware of that until you've asked me that question. So yeah, I wouldn't know, but yeah, I definitely agree where they shouldn't be knocking the prices up because of the event that it is. But yeah, no, that's got to be by surprise. I would agree. I think it should be, either the same price or drop it down for Anzac Day. You said how much is a ticket for a Dragons?
I think it's $90 if you want to sit in the Dragon Supporters Bay, and there's no discounts because it's a Roosters home game. And then I think it's only about $80 for the lesser ticket as well. But there are cheaper tickets available in the other sections. There are but they're not the best seats. But the Dragon Supporters Bay is in a good area. The other the other sections of the stadium are cheaper, but they're not the best seats where you can see a view of the game. So yeah, a lot of people are speaking that they're not quite happy about that.
No, I don't blame them. Yeah, right. Yeah, I don't blame them. No, unfortunately, I don't really have much of a answer for that. I wasn't aware of that at all.
If it was up to Alex, we'd all be free. Wouldn't it, Al? Wouldn't it, mate? Wouldn't it? We'd all be in there for
nice,
free.
Wouldn't it? That'd be nice.
You got any tickets?
Nah, unfortunately, no.
All right, anyone else got questions?
Yeah, so look, Alex, we've all seen what Robbo's like, press conferences again, not exactly backwards in coming forwards and saying what he thinks. Is he a similar way in the sheds, or is he a little bit more reserved?
Oh no, he's the same all the time. He's such a calm, collected person. He's really good with us. He talks really calmly. yeah, he'll pull you aside sometimes, and everything he says has a lot of like purpose and meaning behind it. Like, he doesn't just say stuff to hear his own voice, but no, he's usually quite calm and collected.
So if he's got something to say, he'll tell you, but he won't. Yeah, he's not
Nah,
going
he
to go off
won't
his
do
head
it.
or anything.
Yeah, no, he won't do a spray, but I think the more of the tone changes, it's more of a firm kind of a tone, but he doesn't yell very often.
Yeah, but when you get told by Robo, you know you're being told.
Oh yeah, yeah. Oh, you feel it. You do feel it. Like, oh, that's a new tone. But yeah, I'd rather get sprayed by Robbo than a few of the other coaches that you see giving their players a spray.
I like Bellamy sprays. Woo-hoo! He sprays the window.
Yeah, we've heard a lot of stories from the cheese about that, and well, yeah, Brandon says
talk
he much prefers that.
Talk about us getting Des Hasler, and he likes to spray.
Oh, it is. He likes throwing shit.
He rips doors off that bloke.
Yeah, straight off the hinges.
Or anybody else?
I've got a follow up.
A follow up. Ooh.
So there's a lot being said about Jason in two parts. This one, Jason Riles has been touted as the next NRL coach. What's he like in the camp? Do you think he's ready to be a top first grade coach? And there's obviously been a lot made about Suoliti's switch to rugby. How's he doing? And is anything changed for him now that he's confirmed he's going to rugby at the end of next year?
Nah, not a lot has been changed, or not that I've seen anyway. I haven't had much to do with him as much. He keeps to himself. He keeps to himself and with certain other players, but no, nothing's really changing with the thought of him going. Good on him. He's, a terrific player, and he'll probably smash it at Union as well. But nothing's changing at this point. I just know a few of the boys. It was a big thing that no one really saw coming this soon. But yeah.
Yeah, and Jason Riles, what do you think of him? Like, have you learned a lot from him being a forward yourself? And you think he's ready to take that next step? A lot has been said that he's been linked to the coaching job of the Dragons. What are your thoughts on Jason Riles?
Oh yeah, he's great. He speaks his mind. As much to do with me as you'd think. I've just been away for a little bit. I'll be coming back soon, but I've spoken to him a few times. He seems quite great, and yeah, he would be great at it.
All righty then. Thank you very much. Thank you, guys. Thanks for those questions. But before we say goodbye to Alex, I'd like to say I'd like to take a walk down memory lane. My memory lane this year. You've already mentioned that the 2012 Anzac Day game. The Roosters get a dubious penalty right in front. Dubious it was. They shouldn't have got the penalty, but anyway, they did. They kicked the goal. The score's 24-16. Less than 5 minutes to go. Dragons short kickoff. Jason Nightingale gets the ball, runs across the field. Matt Pryor to corner. 24-22. 24-22 with 2 minutes left. With a minute to go, the Dragons are 10 metres out. They move the ball left. It goes from Fiend to Wayman to Craig. The rest is history. Thanks, man, for coming on. You've been absolutely fantastic. And we hope to see you again.
Thanks so much. Thanks for having me.
No worries, mate.
Thanks for coming on, mate. I'll have to catch up for a beer soon.
Definitely. See you soon.
Thanks, mate.
Bye.
Good. See you, mate. Yeah, he's a top bloke, Alex, and I'm looking forward to seeing him playing NRL one day. Who knows, maybe even for the Dragons. But
we can to back him unless he's playing the Dragons. But maybe I said he was 21, so he's got plenty of years left. You hear of players debuting later age, so be good to see him.
Yeah, 100%. Okay, so Chloe, having a look at the Roosters team, where do you see the key matchups, and who do the Dragons need to neutralise in order to shut them down?
Well, that's a good question. Now, the matchups. Now, I could. There's so many that I have seen. So the first one is the fullbacks, like Tedesco and Sloan. I think the speed and the endurance and catching the ball, and like Tedesco can do anything in the Roosters. Like he could catch the ball and flick it, and then I think it's a good experience for Sloan as well. The person to shut down. Oh, that's a good question. Jared. It could be Jared or Manu. It all depends. They've got a lot of speed in this team. It could be. I also think Luke Keary and Ben Hunt. That's going to be a good one as well. And yeah, Manu and Amon, the 5'8". I think that's going to be a good matchup too. I just like to, being Anzac Day, that match, it brings everyone to. It's kind of like what Jesse said. Like it's kind of like State of Origin meets Grand Final meets Test, because the atmosphere is electrifying and you feel like anything could happen. My memory lane is when it was, I think someone already put it on Facebook, but it was pouring, pelting down with rain. It was hailing, and we didn't know if the game was going to stop, if it was going to start, and it was amazing. And it's like watching it and seeing it, it's like, oh my goodness, it's amazing. Does anyone else have any more matchups?
I've got the Swalehi Lomax matchup.
Yeah,
that's going to be a big one.
That's good. I just got something completely different on mine. I'm on NRL. See, you get something different to me.
Well, Swalehi, he plays on the right for the Roosters, and Lomax is on the left, didn't he? So
yeah, I got Swalehi versus Sawali. That's who I've got.
All right, okay.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, that's
I don't even know.
They swap sides all the time.
That's all right. Yeah,
they could swap sides, 6 times between now and game day.
I know.
That's good, yeah.
I was thinking about Zach Lomax
But,
even Daniel Tupu, the wingers as well. Angus Crichton and Jack Bird. I was thinking about that one too. Welcome back, Angus Crichton.
I think maybe their weakness could be through Momorowski's side.
Yeah.
He's only played 57 games. He's starting to become an NRL regular now. So, but now Manu's moved into 5'8", and Sammy Walker's out the door. Momorowski comes into the side. So hasn't played for a while, I don't think.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean the thing with Manu is I remember going to a game up at Four Pines. I think it was last year, and Manu absolutely went through us like a dose. Like he ripped us apart big time. Hopefully Hook's done his homework and has figured out a way to shut him down, because if he's allowed to run riot like he did, we could be looking at a very, very similar scoreline.
Yeah.
Just on that, like last year, I remember when we played him in Gosford, he faked an injury, then he went in and scored himself. I don't know if you guys remember that.
Yeah, it was that same game. Was that same game?
He did have a calf injury before he started.
Oh, I remember that.
And he fooled the whole defensive line. They fell for it.
I did. But
see, that was the problem. He can fake an injury. That's fine. The defense need to say, look, let's just, get our bloody hands on him completely.
I've been saying,
and then he can flop around all he wants.
I've been saying for a very long time that smashed the player on Justin Hodges used to do. I remember Justin Hodges when I think it was Brett Morris broke his leg, and Justin Hodges came in and absolutely smashed him.
Oh,
we don't do that shit. Too nice. A few years ago.
Always hated Hodges, but I hated him even more after that. I just thought he was an absolute grub after that.
Yes,
that's right. Yeah. I always thought he was a grub, but anyway. He's a boxer there. He likes getting posted around the ring. So
doesn't accept defeat.
Does.
No, he doesn't like losing old Hodges, but most grubs don't really like that either.
I have another one for my matchup. It's Victor Radley versus Jack DeBellin. That's going to be an interesting one.
Yeah, up the middle, yeah.
Yeah, I thought that would
Not
be
really. Bradley would be in the sin bin the first 10 minutes.
I know. Like, it just what will push him over the edge that time, you know?
Run Blake Laurie at him.
Yeah.
I could see Bird and Radley getting into a scuffle.
Oh, that could be that should be a tactic. We should just get Bird to really sort of get under Radley's skin. Eventually, he's going to do something stupid. He can't help himself.
I reckon we get out of the cheese's skin.
Yeah.
Well, actually, the fromage I call him now because he's gone to Bondi. The fromage.
And I just hope they can get into them, because if they get on the front foot, we won't have a chance.
Oh, that's right. If Big Jared gets his body over Zay Musgrave or Blake Laurie, or Lindsay Collins is a huge man too.
Yeah.
Those four are in the middle. That's a huge matchup. Whoever wins that wins the game.
I thought Kerr was good on the weekend. Even some of the sides said he should have been looked at for a starting spot. The way he's been playing, I'll be impressed with his
Who knows?
play.
You might use one before we start the game. Use it in the change. Put Kerr in. Musgrave out. Who knows what Hook's going to do?
I think he's an important one off the bench.
Apparently, we didn't lose a interchange for that stuff up. I heard.
We're going to we're actually going to go into that a little bit.
Fair enough. I digress.
I think Kerr and Lodge are big matchups too. Like,
off the
who
bench
comes on and makes the impact on Chloe's matchups?
Yeah,
because whoever can match the go forward, like continue the platform that their starting pack has set, that's going to set the tone of the game. The Roosters probably have one of the biggest packs in the comp, so we're going to have to match them if we're going to have any chance of knocking them over. We're going to have to be right in the game.
Test for Toby Couchman when he eventually comes on to try and match it with some of these big boys. So this could be his official welcome to first grade.
We've got to stop Satilia Tupanua when he comes off the bench as well. He's a very damaging runner.
I'm just worried about Manu. I think he's more dangerous at 5'8", especially with a Junior Ramones missed tackle count last Sunday against Whiten. I think Manu's a bit even bigger body than Whiten is. And Junior's better be practicing his tackling, because Manu will run rings around him all day if he's not careful.
Yeah. Well, I still felt that it wasn't just a moan. I still felt Zach didn't tackle very well. There was, I think, one of the tries, he was right there, and I know I'm going on about Zach Lomax, but I still think he didn't tackle as well. But I don't know. I feel like there's something with him, and I can't put my finger on it. And I don't know. He's just not in it. His kicking is, that's just my.
I think he started to go downhill round about the time he went on. I think it was Fletchy and Hindy, and took the piss out of Griffin. I think that's when he started sort of going downhill.
Yeah, maybe. But if you can't have a bit of a laugh, like, that's what I mean. People are so serious these days. Why? Like, I sometimes take the fun out of my boss, and we both laugh at each other. He
might have hurt Griffin's feelings.
Well, Blocker did it too. It was not just that. Blocker did it too.
He might have hurt his feelings, and now Anthony Griffin doesn't like Zach Lomax.
Well,
there's lefty, right,
I agree with,
retards, whatever.
I would agree with Chloe. Like, I think he does need a few weeks in reserve grade to rediscover what his form, and find where he was a few years ago when he was on the cusp of Origin.
I hope both of you eat your words tonight. And he comes out and has an absolute blinder.
Yeah, I hope so too.
I hope he does.
I hope he does too, but it hasn't happened.
It hasn't, no.
It
Still
hasn't.
waiting.
So, we can put all the shit on Ben Hunt if we want, because he's captain, but he's still the kicker. And I was thinking what Mr. Donny said last week. Who can be our next kicker? And I'm like, I don't know. Like, there is, and that's the sad point in our club. We don't have, I thought Ben Hunt, but then if he doesn't want to kick, who's next? There isn't.
Yeah, the Bud's in reserve grade.
And that's what the shit is, because, for me, if you've got 7 Ben Hunt, Zach's kicking. If he can't do it for a day, why can't he go, hey, mate, I'll change. I'll do the goal kicks. But he doesn't want to, or he doesn't, I don't know. That's the whole thing that's where I'm wrapping my brain about, you know. It's just that frustrating.
Actually, Moses Mbai used to kick goals. I know you don't like it. He did used to kick goals when in his Bulldogs days. So he has kicked before, but I know he's not liked, but he can kick. He can.
Hopefully this week Mbai plays 31 minutes.
He used to be able to tackle in his Bulldog days too, and he can't do that anymore.
There's a lot of things he used to do, but
leave Moses alone.
Look, just going back to the point of making us eat our words with Zach Lomax. I want to cast your mind back to last week's Team List Tuesday, where a few of us were having a bit of a go at Tau Moga and questioning his place in the side, and he made us look like absolute idiots on Sunday. So maybe Zach will go out and do the same.
He could. That's right. Exactly right.
Yeah, let's manifest that Zach has a good game, everyone. Good kicks, okay?
Yeah. Zach Lomax. Let's just spend the rest of the show putting shit on him.
That's right. No, let's leave Zach alone. Let's move along. Let's go. We've got a couple more questions to come across.
Yeah, I think we've given Zach enough crap for now. So, Jesse, we've just spoken a little bit about Moses Mbai. Now, he has been picked to start at hooker again this week. Now, we did see a last-minute change to the starting side last week, which we will get into a little bit later. Do you think there's any chance that we might see another last-minute change come Tuesday?
Who knows with Hook? You don't know what he's going to do next. I don't think he does make changes. I mean, I can't really believe he's brought back Ben Murdoch-Basila just 2 days after he dropped it, and he didn't do anything playing New South Wales Cup. Why would you recall a bloke that didn't do anything? You should reward a bloke that's put in a good performance. I would have given it maybe a Cashman a run. People will say maybe because it's such a big occasion, it might be overwhelming for him. I don't know. But you never know until you give him a chance.
I think there's a bit of probably an issue with size as well, because Murdoch-Masilla's a tad bigger than Couchman and a lot of the other forwards, and we pretty much need the biggest pack we can put on the field if we're going to match it with the Roosters. Yeah,
Sue is a massive loss though. He brings a lot of experience, and in that corresponding game last year, he was one of our best forwards before. I think that was the game he got injured. He scored a try as well, I think, in that game. So and he took it right to the Roosters team last year when we played in that. That was another memorable game too. We just refused to crack that game. I remember the Roosters were charging home, and he was one of our best forwards that day. He's a massive loss for us this weekend. I don't know when he was returned, but not a fan of Jack Bird in the back row.
Yeah, he's scheduled to come back round 9 or 10. I think the same as we got two other injured players that are scheduled to come back then too. So maybe by then we'll might see a few changes.
I've got a question from one of the viewers there. Hazman, was not a question; it's more of a statement. Daniel Michael saying they've got a big pack, so hopefully we kick early, make them turn, tire them out, and Little can make some easy meters down the middle. That's not a bad way of looking at it. Turning their forwards around.
Well, don't tell me. Tell Ben Hunt. Tell Junior Ramon.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
I think we should kick the ball away from Teddy too. Kick to maybe a Jackson Paulo, because you kick to Teddy, you can't give him any space at all. He'll burn us. Keep it away from Teddy.
He's too quick.
Yeah, you kick it away from him. Don't let him run, or kick the ball into open space just where no one is. So he has to go running for the ball instead of kicking it straight to him. I do notice
that. You have a little bit of a problem doing that, though. If we see what happened last week, where we were camped down in our own area and needed a big kick to get out of it.
Rob Saguna says, Umgai, God help us.
Enough said.
I love Rob. He's fantastic. Yeah, he's
Rob again. Sorry, Hook gets the match sheet right. He's got to get the match sheet right this week. Yeah.
Well, I mean,
get it ready by 3 o'clock.
Not even Hook could, make that sort of blunder 2 weeks in a row, surely.
Yeah, and George Phillips saying, and that's the problem. If we have good squad depth and the knock-on effect cup side with consistently good form, we can bring players up. Bring players just like the Panthers do. And I think that's what they're trying to do. I think that's what they're trying to grow the junior league, get the players. Well, we've done that with Sullivan and the Main. We brought them through the grades together, hoping they were going to be our future. But
at the moment, as well.
It's Sloan, that's right,
yeah.
But that's not quite working out
but
the way they
I love that idea.
They planned, I don't think.
I love that idea, and that's why I love to bring them up. It's just everybody, the minute they stuff up or have the worst game, everyone is like, nah, put them back down there, put it back. Mate, Sloan has only had probably now 20 games, and he stuffed up when it's pissing down rain down in Wollongong, and everyone was on his case. You're not good enough. You know, guys, you were all kids once. You were all young, probably playing netball, basketball, football. This is my little shout out to everyone. Let's be kind to these young guys. You're all on the social media being lovely and kind, and then when they stuff up, you all like to have a go at them. Let's not have a go. Let's manifest for them to actually be like, yeah, come on, guys, we've got you. You got each other's backs, you know?
I get you. Yeah, they're human too, like us. I get what you're saying. Yeah, like they're human. They make mistakes.
Exactly. How are they meant to learn if they can't be perfect every time? But still, the magnitude of how much they get slandered from one thing, you know, give them a break. We all have life experiences. So yeah, I'm just going to step outside.
That's well. That was very, very well said, Chloe. Now, Tautau Moga, he was one of our best last week, as evidenced by the Mad Dragons Player of the Year voting. Now, as I mentioned earlier, we were pretty critical of him being selected last week, but he did manage to make some of us eat our words here at the Mad Dragons vodcast with 2 tries, including an intercept that I don't think many people really would have expected him to score with his pace. 213 running meters and 4 tackle breaks. Big T, what are you expecting from Moga this week?
Oh, it's pretty much the same, I hope. I was pretty critical of picking Moga for 20. How old is he? I don't know. I would have rather 30. I would have rather had Maxi have a run. Maxi Phenon. But Tautau Moga, he fits in well. Last year, he done his job, what he needed to do. This 213 metres, 2 tries. He got my 1 point last week. So I hope he brings the same as what he brought last week, and I hope the rest of our backs do the same.
Yeah, hopefully
against Tupou.
Just once off, but sorry, Jesse.
Yeah, he's up against Tupou this week, so that's going to be a big test. Daniel Tupou's got some size on him.
Yeah, Tupou's got some size on most of them, to be honest.
And the speed too, as well of Tupou. He can be fast when he wants to.
Yeah, that's a problem.
That's going to be an issue because Moga, as I just said, is decidedly not particularly quick. Although Revelar was not actually that quick either.
No, that's right.
So they both got the turning circles of the bloody QE too. So
good like me when I played. I could not turn. I could not sidestep. Ooh.
Did you, when you played Big T, did you ever shoulder charge anyone? Were you
all the time, Chloe?
Yeah,
all the time.
Because you said you were like a forward, so I just always.
Oh yeah.
You know,
back in the 80s when I played, that was just norm. That was the norm, and that's how I stopped most of the bigger guys than me. Like, I was a bit of a Sonny Bill Williams, mate. You know, big shoulder charge. You know.
That's cool.
Like to put the big hits on.
I'll tell you a quick story. They used to call me Moses playing football. Moses, true story. Because when I got the ball and ran, the defence parted like the Red Sea.
Oh my goodness.
I was Moses.
Would have loved to have seen that, Big T.
Got no video. No video.
Well, there wouldn't have been in those days.
It was all chiseled on slate.
So if your shoulder charges didn't work, did you bust out the old, squirrel grips and eye gougers and all that sort of shit? Or
I played in the Campbelltown competition, and that was one of the dirtiest competitions you ever play for. And we were taught to twist belly skin, denker rub in the eyes, like all the good stuff. All the good stuff.
Did you rub a bit of Vaseline on your legs?
No, denker rub. Rub denker rub
Vaseline?
on your legs. No, rub denker rub on your legs. And when the players tackle you, they get denker rub all over themselves, and they get it in their eyes, and they get it everywhere.
That's what James Graham used to do.
You used to rub denker rub on your legs and rub it on your hand, and then in the scrum, you used to reach under and rub it in their hooker's eyes. True story, mate. True story.
I believe you.
Rub it in their hooker's eyes, and then he'd go down for 15 minutes rubbing water, the magic sponge. Remember the magic sponge? You wouldn't remember the magic sponge. Sponge and a bucket. They used to run out with a sponge and a bucket, give you the sponge, you used to suck on the sponge, rub it over your head, put it back in the bucket. You take the next person, grab the sponge, suck on the sponge, rub it back in the bucket, rub it on your head. Like, we're all sucking the same sponge. So we never died.
Used to tackle around the legs too. That's what I heard. A lot of people did in those days.
Very. That's what's lost in rugby league. That's what's lost in rugby league. The legs tackle. That's why everybody tackles high now, because you can't legs tackle them 1-on-1 and get away with it. Like you can't hold on anymore.
Yeah, especially with this hip drop rule that's coming into the game now.
They should be able to tackle around the legs, drop them like an old tree, hold on 5 seconds.
Yeah.
That's a perfect tackle.
They can't run without legs.
Well, Ray Warren used to say copybook tackle. Perfect. Start from land on the hips, slide down to the ankles. Copybook tackle.
Now you get 10 in the bin and bloody 4 weeks for it.
That's right. That's right.
What happened to Chloe?
Chloe.
Well.
We've been through the...
She said she might have to leave early.
Oh, she's gone. Right, okay. I wasn't aware of that.
It's just the big front rowers. Go.
Right, well...
Front row forum, we should call ourselves.
Well, Jesse, I'll throw this one to you in that case. So we went through the Dragon side a little bit earlier. What potential weaknesses do you see?
Number one, Moses Ember.
Okay, can we stop taking the piss out of Amber?
No, I think that with their big forwards, the cheese could be running him all day, and he's not very reliable in defence. So I think that's where we could struggle. I thought Jacob Little's more reliable in defence. He tackles all day. He's quick out of dummy half. I think that's who I will. That's my first choice as hooker. I think Amone will be targeted by Manu. He'll run out. He would have noted that he's missed. He doesn't have a great defensive record, so I think Manu will run at Amone and give him a tough afternoon. I think Bird as well. I think he gets baited quite easily when you got play people like Radley, Waria Hargreaves, and the Cheese. They could come in and bait him or take the piss out of him. I just hope that he doesn't get drawn into that.
Well, if they're not taking the piss out of him, they probably shouldn't be there in the first place. But I completely agree. I'm really, really concerned about that sort of middle defence. Which, I mean, it'll be great to have. It's great to have DeBellin back there. He does add a lot of sort of stability. But if they, as I said, if they do run it at Amone, If they do run it and by, we could be in some serious trouble.
Yeah, and then Lomax hasn't been defending quite well either. Like Suoliti could run rings around him all day, and then you got Teddy chiming in from the back. At the best of times, you don't know what he's going to do. He's that unpredictable player. And then you got Man, who's dangerous. He'll chime in as well. And then you got Kiri running the show. I think he could target Moga as well because Tupou has got some height over Moga. Moga's not the tallest winger. Tupou's about 6'4".
Speed on him as well, actually.
We've got some breaking news here from Mohammed Dib. He heard on the radio, Sen Radio, Michelle Bishop said they had a meeting today regarding an appointment of a recruitment manager as soon as possible. So don't we have a recruitment manager?
That was Flano's job, so they haven't hired any.
Yeah, that's what Mohammed did. He heard that Michelle Bishop said on the radio that a meeting had been had to appoint a recruitment manager as soon as possible. Thank you, Mohammed.
I heard on 2GB actually today that they said a coaching announcement will be announced soon as well. I don't know if it's going to be today, though. It could be in the coming days. I don't know, but it sounds like they have come to a decision on Cook's future or a coach they're lining up. I don't know, but hopefully we do know in the coming days what occurred in that meeting today.
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's the fact that we haven't. How long's Flanagan been gone?
September, October, probably. Whenever Seabold got appointed at Manly's coach, I think it was October.
Yeah, so you're looking at the better part of 8 months. So you're basically saying that we've been running around without a recruitment manager for that period of time. I mean, what the hell are these guys doing?
They've let Hook do all the recruitments.
Well,
yeah.
Look,
he done one.
That's not a bad idea.
He got Viliami and Tuaki, whatever his name is. From I haven't learned his name yet. Sorry.
Tuatavaki,
that's him.
Tuatavaki. He's another one that we've got coming back in.
Well done, Jeff. Well done. I've got to get me my mouth around that name yet. I haven't been there yet because he's not playing yet. So,
well, you did very well with Fasua Mala'awi.
Fasua Mala'awi. I like saying that. Every time I hit my toe now, I go Fasua Mala'awi. Every time. No, it's true. It's true. Every time.
You might have to give me a lesson on that. Big T, I absolutely botched it on Sunday about probably. I find it's very, very difficult to say unless you really sort of think about it.
Yeah, that's right. I've got to stop. Engage brain, engage mouth. Fasuma Awi.
So we'll move on to the Roosters side now. Big T, I'll ask you the same question. Where do you think we might be able to cause them a bit of trouble? Where do you think their weaknesses are?
Slow. I'm tiring their big forwards out. Might be a go. Might make weakness. No. They've got an excellent side. Teddy at the back. The wingers are good. The centre. Momorowski maybe. It's his first game back for a while. I think. He might be a bit green. But their forward pack, if we can get under Bradley and the Jesus skin and get them doing things that like doing stupid things, we might have a chance. Rile those two up, and hopefully they get 4 or 5 sin bins like they did last week.
Well, you can add Brea Hargraves to that as well. He's pretty easy to get to.
Mm.
Yeah. No, I think they're going to be tough. They're a good defending side. We've just got to bring our best.
Yeah, and I think Crichton might be a bit of a weakness as well, purely because he might be a little bit underdone.
Yeah, same as Momorowski. Are they on the same side? Do you know, Jess?
Crichton, I'm just trying to think. Momirovski will be on the side of Sully. So Sully could, the size of Sully. He
Yeah,
could
that's right. Yeah.
he
Run over
could
top of him.
yeah. And I'm trying to think. He usually plays 11. He's been named in 12 because other butcher, Nat Butcher's been suspended.
He has, that's
Trying
right.
to think. Can't pick what side he's on.
Anyway, hopefully they can.
And then there's Paulo as well.
Yeah.
Paulo was hammered late last year for a one-off bad game against Penrith when he was still at South. So, he could be a target as well.
Yeah, he could be. I'm an idiot. Moving right along.
You're a worry, Big Tech. We'll move right along.
Coco's back.
Chloe is coming back.
Sorry, technical difficulties. This is what happens when I'm hotspotting my phone to my laptop. Sorry, everyone. Well, I'm back.
Chloe,
We've just been sitting here.
You've missed all the fun.
Of course I do. I'm stressed.
We've just been sitting here quiet, waiting for you to come back.
We all went through. I'm like, am I having technical difficulties? And then all of a sudden, everything just went dead.
Take a deep breath, Big T. Take a deep breath.
We've been carrying on like absolute idiots since pretty much the second we walked
You
away.
want me to use my teacher voice for your Hazman? Do you need me to be ordering the court?
I think we're a little bit past that. Okay, so Jesse,
Yes.
what's the quiz master himself? Jesse, what's your trivia question this week, mate?
So tonight it's a trip down memory lane. So I don't know if any of you can recall the 2015 ANZAC Day. Chloe mentioned it a little while ago. It was memorable for the rain and the hail, game getting called off. So my question is tonight, who scored the try just before the game was called off? And what minute of the game was the game called off for the break because of the severe thunderstorm and weather surrounding Allianz Stadium? So yeah, the player that scored the try that gave the Dragons their second try of the game that day, and what minute of the game was the game called off for the weather? There'll be a bit of a video highlight reel of that game once the answer is revealed. Guess away in the comments.
Okay, right. So get your thinking caps on, Dragons fans, and we'll see who might be able to get it. So now Muzz is not able to be with us to do his multi this week, but he has sent it through to me, being the absolute trooper he is. So I'll just go through it quickly now. So he's got Brian Todd to try to score anytime, paying $1.90. Herbie Farnworth anytime against the Broncos for $2.65. Braden Hamlin-Ueli anytime at $9.25. And he's picked Newcastle to win by 12.5 plus at $1.26. So it'd be interesting to see how that goes, and see if we can actually get up for once. And as always, if you're going to have a punt, gamble responsibly. Okay, so we'll move into a bit of NRL news now. So I briefly mentioned earlier the absolute stuff up made by coach Anthony Griffin when he started Moses Mbai. I almost said Mitchell Moses then. I was like, I wish we had Mitchell Moses. Despite naming Jacob Little an hour before kickoff. Now, just a bit of clarification on this. So Graham Annesley has said that the Dragons did not lose an interchange because of this, as had been previously reported. However, the incident is being reviewed and the NRL may yet issue a fine. So Big T, what do you think led to this happening? Do you think it was just a breakdown in communication between Griffin and his support staff, or is it just another sign that Griffin's lost the plot completely?
Excuse me, man. I just put a bit of cake in my mouth. Used to happen with me all the time when I managed the footy teams in my younger days. The coach wouldn't tell me who's playing, and I couldn't put down the run sheet. I think it was just a miscommunication between Biffrin and whoever does the run sheet. Like I said, we didn't lose an interchange for it. But we might get a fine. I don't know, $1,000 fine or something.
I've no idea how much it'd be, but maybe we should be forced to stop buying that idiot his bloody cases of Crownies every week. Maybe that can be the penance. See how things go.
Who buys who Crownies?
I think about Peter Doust.
Oh, Peter Dow.
Still mulling around the pub for some stupid reason, getting in the way as he always did. Now, Jesse, NRLW coach Jamie Sowell is recently addressed talk around a lot of our NRLW stars departing for other clubs. One of the more recent one of these was Emma Tonegado, who has gone and done the absolute unthinkable and signed with our little sister in Cronulla. Now, what exactly is going on? Give us your thoughts, and what did Jamie Soward say?
Okay, so give me a sec. I'll just get it up. So he has said he doesn't care what other people think, basically. So there's a wide range of there's many reasons why these star players have moved on. But he said he's giving them an opportunity. These other young girls, giving them an opportunity to see what they've got to offer this level. There could have been many factors that come into it, whether it's money, whether it's the players not liking his coaching style. But I think the main one was with Kezi Apps. She shared her reasons why she left. She's been a great leader for the club for a long time, foundation player for the club, and she's really was the reason why the Dragons were permitted a license back in 2018 to have an inaugural side in that competition. But as Soward said, he's learned that this game is not just about playing; it's a business, and it's about money. These younger girls would have had these star players would have had many offers from all these new clubs that have coming into the competition, and a lot of young girls would have got offers as well. At the end of the day, they've got to look after themselves and do what's best for them. But Jamie Soward has said it's his job to put the best roster he can together and hope the Dragons are successful. At the end of the day, he's been aware for a while that we're going to lose these players, but he's planned for it. He's looking to develop and plan for the future. But what he's saying is to the fans, like, give these girls a chance. You haven't seen them play. Judge them when you see them play, then make a judgment. Until you've seen them play, don't say anything like, yes, I get where he's coming from. Like, it's a bit disrespectful. I've actually heard a line from Craig Bellamy some time ago. He said, you've got to worry about the players we have in the system. Don't worry about the players we've lost. We can't control that if they wanted to leave. We've got to move on. Trust Soward. He must know what he's doing. He's been great for developing talent last year. If he can pull this off and turn this Dragons NRLW side into a competitive one, then everyone will be hands down applauding him and giving a heads up to his efforts there. Because at the end of the day, if players want to move on and they don't want to play for the club, or they have their reasons why they want to move on, then let it be. Like, yes, money comes into it. You've got to take those factors into it. But again, who knows? These young girls might be up to the plate. It'll give them an experience. He hasn't actually revealed what the contract these years. How long these players have signed for. The only one I have heard is our marquee signing Racing McGregor, who signed a 1-year deal. But I do hope if he's planning for the future that he signed all these young girls to multi-year contracts, because like a lot of them haven't played together before, and it's going to take them time to develop these combinations. And I do hope they do sign them on multi-year contracts, because they've got to gel, they've got to start playing together and learn each other's game, what their strengths and weaknesses are. Because if they're only signed for just this year, it's going to be starting again next year. But I think it's good that they have their future more secure now, that they can have multi-year contracts. But yeah, there's nothing you can rant on about the players we've lost. I've seen it all in these Facebook groups the last few days, many weeks as well. It's out of our control. There's nothing we can do about it. You can rant on all you like. At the end of the day, Soward's assembling the best side he thinks is going to be competitive and successful, and we have to support that. That's my message to the fans that keep asking why we lose these players. They have their own reasons for leaving. Fair enough. If they want to go. We just have to get behind Soward and trust that he knows what he's doing, and hopefully we have a competitive side to cheer for when the season starts in late July, because just got to get behind him. And I applaud him for saying he doesn't care what other people think, nor should he. It's his team. He's got to pick the side he wants to build.
That's right, Jess. That's right. We've got a couple of answers for your questions there, mate. George Phillips says, Mitch Rain, the 35th minute.
Mitch Rain is correct. That was very funny. Like the commentators actually said, I think it was Peter Sterling that day. He said, who better than the score? Mitch Rain. Right.
Yeah.
And it was Braden.
I remember that.
And he says he reckons it's about the 35th minute.
Oh, that is not correct. That one. A little
All right,
bit
then
earlier,
we've got another one. Peter Placido Venezano says Mitch Rain and the 27th minute.
Hooray, you've got a wing, ding, ding, ding. That's the
There
winner.
we
Yes,
go.
it was the 27, just after early part of the 27th minute. And then that's when referee Jared Sutton said we're breaking.
That's maybe why he doesn't like us, because he had to referee that game. Maybe. Yeah, so thank you, Peter Placido Venezano. Congratulations, you win nothing.
You win the honour of getting the answer.
Right. Your name gets said on the podcast. Peter Placido Venezano. Yeah.
Big T, you are really becoming a linguistic specialist, aren't you? You are all over these names.
Do we have some highlights from that game?
We do, as a matter of fact. So I do have a bit of a clip here. Hopefully it'll work this time, because it's been giving me the absolute irrits this thing today.
Crowd is really, really good. Some black clouds coming in from the southwest, I fancy. They might be a bit threatening during the progress of the game.
This has a different feeling to any other game you're playing.
Time is on. The ANZAC Day tradition continues, with the Dragons bringing the kick-off back from their own try line, 17 metres out from the Dragons line. And the much talked about defence has been tested early. Jennings got it away. Tupou close to the line.
Scrum, boys.
Gone forward.
Scrum.
Just outside the 20-metre line. Play back for Farrell, and then it's gone to Marshall. He puts it across in the direction of McDonald, but the breeze has brought it back to the Dragons. It's there to be played on with Merrin, 6 more tackles.
Yeah, it's not going to let me do much. I don't think.
I have a shorter version. You want that one? Or you leave it?
Well, the screen sharing is being a bit difficult, so
Okay,
we might
fair enough.
just move along a little. So just staying with you, Jesse, we do actually have the Steelers women's and Tasha Gale sides playing in semi-finals this week against the Bulldogs. Take us through the two lineups and give us your thoughts on their chances of making the big one.
Okay, so first one I'll do, we have the Tasha Gale Cup. They're playing on Saturday at 10 a.m. at Leichhardt Oval. So if you're in around the area or want to see some our up and coming talent, couple moving on to the NRLW side later in the year. They're playing the Bulldogs for a spot in the grand final. Bulldogs are the minor premiers, as Donnie alluded on Sunday night show. They've been probably the best side all year, so it's going to be a tough encounter. But here is the way the Steelers will line up for this grand final qualifier. So at fullback, we've got Darcy Eade. On the wings, we've got Talisha Love and Talia Hancock. The centers, we've got Shay Shipton and Mia Rose Walsh. At 5, we've got Chelsea Saville. Halfback is Sienio, so the cousin of Isaiah, Penrith co-captain. So in the front row, we've got Hope Millard and the captain, Ella Costa. She'll be wearing jumper number 19. Hooker, we've got Jayla Commons. Back row, we've got Charlotte Basham, Sulietti, Ohio. Sorry if I've said that wrong. And Katie Stevens. On the bench, we've got Rhodey Preston, Ella Fisher, Rangitaki Pohatu, and Kelsey Frankham in jumper number 20. And our replacement is Hunter Lee Afoa Pedersen Patrick. So the Steelers finished 4th in the competition. They're taking on the minor premiers, the Bulldogs. They think they've averaged about they've been the benchmark side all year. They haven't lost a game all season. In fact, their for and against is a plus 232. So they've been deserved minor premiers, and they've been the benchmark side all year. So it's going to be a big game for the Steelers. But they'll have some. They'll go into this game with a little bit of confidence that they only let in the one try against Parramatta last week in that eliminator. They'll know they have to be up, go another level if they're going to go toe to toe with the competition leaders to into the grand final. But it's going to be a big occasion for them, and hopefully the girls can be up for it. And hopefully they can come away with an upset victory. Now I'll move on to the New South Wales Harvey Norman Women's Premiership. So they'll be playing Sunday at 12:45, also at Leichhardt Oval. They're also taking on the Bulldogs, so it's a second versus third. It's a spot in the grand final on the line. So for the Steelers, the way they'll line up at fullback, we've got Tegan the Flash Berry. On the wings, we've got Olivia Vale and Shakatak Shakia Tungai. The centers, we've got Lily Rogan and Jordan Preston. The halves, we've got Talia Fui Mano, the Fui, and Hazman's favourite player, Rachel Raddy Pearson. In the back row, lock, we've got Emma Tonegado playing lock again. Ulla Maria Time Crib and Josie Strong in the back row. Up front, we've got Vienna Tinau, the skipper Keely Davis at hooker, and Rose Tapagona Toto in the front row. On the bench, we've got Jade Everton, April Stevens, Anastasia Shun Cottrell, and Katrina Latu, and the replacement player is Salma Noor. They're coached by Alicia Kate Hawke. Kezzy Apps again, not named, but don't be surprised if she may be a late inclusion if she is fit, because they're going to need all the experience they can get in a do or die semi-final. She's got a little big game experience, and her experience will be invaluable to these younger girls playing in this sort of environment. So I think the Steelers are going to need all the players they can get if they're going to win this competition. A lot of, as I alluded to on Sunday night, there's a lot of players we've signed in the NRLW in this Bulldog side. So I'll just run some through of the names that will be playing in the Bulldogs. So Cortez Tapo is another player we've signed. She'll be on the wing for the Bulldogs. And here's one for you, Hazman, to try to pronounce. Angelina Tiakaranga Katoa. There's one for you.
Tiakaranga Katoa.
Tiakaranga Katoa.
That's a good one. Yeah.
She's coming across from the Roosters. Holly Wheeler, a foundation player. We've got Mona Lisa Soliola's actually in that side too. She signed with the Canberra Raiders for the NRLW. And we've got Renee Target off the bench. And Alexis Tournai as well. She's a young front rower, try scoring freak, I've heard. She's been so impressive playing touch girl. She's been upgraded to the Hobbiton Women's Premiership side, so big raps on her. I've heard she's a big girl and looking forward to seeing her play on the weekend, and hopefully she can take that form into the Dragons NRLW side. But yeah, big game on Sunday, 12:45, and both those games will be live streamed on the New South Wales Rugby League Facebook page. So if you can't get to Leichhardt, give it a watch. 12:45 on Sunday against the Bulldogs or Leichhardt Oval, and again 10 a.m. on Saturday for the Tarsha Gals side. And yeah, winners will go to the grand final. So go the Steelers, give them a taste of steel.
Now, speaking of signings, Jesse, you were mentioning that we got a new signing. What can you tell us?
So Jamie Sauer, just in the last hour or so, has just announced the signing of player. She's named by Taylor Adenilyn Mapasua. So she's had a bit of an injury run of late. I'll just bring up her details. So she's a winger. She comes from the Roosters, but she's had a hard road to NRLW. So I'll just run a bit of a spiel for what I got here. So she's born in Sydney. She's grew up in Maroubra. She moved to Queensland at the age of 12, and she's had a childhood filled with athletics, netball, basketball, has a rugby sevens background. She signed with the Brisbane Broncos squad a few years ago, but she's had a rough run with injuries. But she's come through as a winger, but she's loving playing in Sydney. She's looking forward to being at the club. She's actually cousin of Sarah Togatuki, who's been at the Rooster system. She's just signed with the West Tigers a few weeks ago. She's looking forward to it. So she's only 20. She's turning 24 this year. She's also qualified personal trainer, and looking forward to seeing her in the system. We'll provide a bit of depth in the outside backs. We've also got we've got a pretty young black back line, so she'll be able to cover wing and centre, I suppose. And yeah, another signing. So
does that make her a Queenslander or a New South Welshman?
That one,
Welsh woman, sorry, New South Welsh person.
Well, actually, it says she's a Samoan international. But,
okay, well, she played a junior football in Queensland, so
yeah, and she grew up in Maroubra.
That's right, yeah. Before she went to Queensland.
I'm trying to find her profile.
Well,
there's not a lot there.
Find a way to steal her.
But yeah, she's been on the fringe, but she's been at the Roosters. She's been stuck behind players like Jess Surgis, Isabel Kelly.
Well, he's gone for youth. He's gone for youth. Sauer's gone for youth, maybe building for the next couple of years. But yeah,
he's got one eye on the future. He's always big fan of developing young talent.
Yeah,
and yeah, we just have to back him, and hopefully he can develop these young girls. And
let's hope.
Who knows? He might surprise us.
That's right. Yeah, let's hope he doesn't develop them, and then we lose them to other clubs.
Well, you always run that risk. You see it all the time.
He's picked up, like, ever since we've had it, he's picked apart out. All the clubs have pinched our best players.
That's right. Yeah,
like Surgis left a couple of years ago. She left with the Roosters.
Yeah, that was. I reckon that was a bit shonky because Isabel came to the Dragons and made Jess fall in love with her and take her back to the Roosters. You know, that's what happened.
There is more to that I've heard too. So, but that's
she split up with Zach too. So
yeah.
So would you want to stay there if you work with your ex-partner?
Be a bit awkward, wouldn't it? Be awkward.
He wasn't going anywhere.
No.
So she's gone.
I just let one.
I'm out of here.
Yeah, I don't want to. That's a subject I don't want to go into too much. That's
no. I'm not saying go into it, but yeah, and I wouldn't want to stay there either.
No. who else we've lost? We lost. Yeah, there's a few others. We're probably the best club
Jamie
in
Kaplan went a
development.
couple of years ago.
Yep, Madison Bartlett as well. They
Yeah.
were. Matty Bartlett was already an established player. Jamie Chapman we developed.
Yeah.
All these players we've let moving on that we've all developed them too. So I suppose it's going to be a new era for the Dragons NRLW side. A lot of new faces. But
we developed Mona Lisa, didn't we? Did we develop her?
so yeah, she debuted with us. So
That's right. Yeah.
So
I like. She was a good player. I liked her.
she's the brother of Sia Soliola.
She's what niece, isn't she, or something?
I think it's a brother, older brother.
Might be.
Yeah.
Not sure, but she's related to him. That's why she's gone to Canberra.
Yeah, and he's still involved with the club.
That's right. Yeah. Why not?
Yeah,
and they probably offered her 2 or 3 years anyway.
Yeah. Fui's another player we developed into a Gillaroos.
Yeah, she's a big loss.
Shaylee Bent, I thought she was always going to go for Feeder.
Yeah, they were 2 of my favourites. Shaylee Bent and Fui, 2 of my favourites. So was Elsie. She's gone to Parramatta.
Hasn't been officially announced, but it's looking that way. She's playing for their feeder club, Wentworthville. So it's looking that way. Like Sarah was happy to have her back, but
how old is Elsie now?
Elsie is 26, 27.
Okay, so
long minutes in her, so that could be what's against.
Yeah.
I think Sarah's looking for bigger girls and that can last longer minutes. She was more of a jukebox.
That's what she was. Yeah, big hits. That's right. That's right, Jeffs. Well done.
Yes, and Hazman, I do have a shirt on tonight. I do have the MDV shirt on.
Fantastic. Sit up and give us a bit of a look just for everyone who's watching.
There we go. Look at that.
There we go. This is probably the newest one out in the range. Very nice.
I think
shirt.
Chloe's got hers on as well.
We should top it up.
Say something, Chloe.
Yes, I do. Wait there. Mama. There we go. There we go.
Look at that. That's lovely.
Ready? I'll do my catwalk. Ready?
Oh, you should be a model, Chloe. You should be a model.
Very, very nicely done, Chloe. And they're not bad looking shirts either. Now, if you want to get your hands on one, all you need to do is go to Etsy.com and search Mad Dragons Vodcast. You find shirts like the ones that Chloe and Jesse are wearing. There's hoodies and all sorts of weird, wonderful things. So get in amongst it. So we'll go through the rest of the games for ANZAC round, as I'm sure everyone's calling it. So the first game we've got up is the Bunnies and the Panthers. So we might just start with we'll start with you, Jesse, seeing as I can see you anyway. Who have you got for South or Panthers?
I'm going to lean towards the Panthers. They've had the wood over Souths in recent times. I think that'll continue. Yes, Souths were good last week. They took a while to get going against the Dolphins last week, but Ivan Cleary was disappointed with the way his side played last Saturday. I don't think he would have been too impressed with his side. I think he would have reminded them of that. He said no disrespect to Newcastle. Newcastle will give it to him, but I think he'll have his side raring to go. I think the Panthers bounce back. I think even though they won, I think they'll be a better side this week. And they always lift when they play the Bunnies. I think they'll get the chocolates in this one.
Yeah, if South start the way they did last week, I don't think they'll have much of a chance, to be honest. Big T, you got anything different?
Yeah, no, I think the Panthers might have this one. Panthers have got Liam Martin out, but the Bunnies also have Keon Kalomatangi out too, so he's a big loss for the Bunnies. Like you got Suia Turavar in the Penrith back line. Now I think Penrith will be too strong. Hopefully Isaiah Yo's cousin will play as well as Isaiah Yo does when she joins our ladies team. later in the year. No, Panthers by only a couple. It'll be a close one.
Yep. Chloe, anything you're thinking different?
I'm going against everybody. I'm going for the Rabbitohs. I just think that I know, like, I watched the game against the Knights and Panthers, and the Panthers should have maybe won that. But I really think, I know the Rabbitohs played the start bodgy, but I think the ending, and I think that's what the Dragons need to do, slow to fast. And I think maybe it might be an upset. It might be 2 points. Don't know, but I just feel that it's going to be a good game either way.
Yep. So move on to Parramatta and the Eels on Friday. We'll start with
Broncos.
you this time. We'll go in reverse order. So, Chloe.
Hey, I've got to get the team list up. Or, you know what? I'm just going for the Broncos because, Corey Oates is back. Thomas Fedler. Yeah, I think I'm going to go for. I think the Broncos. The Eels are hot and cold, and I don't really rate the Eels at the moment. And yeah, they got that win over the Bulldogs, but yeah, I think the Broncos.
Big Take.
Yeah, I'm thinking the Broncos as well. With like what Chloe said, Flegler and Oates back. The only out for the Broncos is Jordan Pereira, our ex-winger. But that's a bit unlucky. The Eels do have Josh Hodgson back. He's a big in for them. And I like Wirramuri Greg off the bench for the Parramatta Eels. He's a good player. I wouldn't mind seeing him in Red V. But I think Broncos by a few. It's going to be a close one again.
Yeah, I don't think there's going to be too many blowouts this week. Jesse, anything to add to that?
Yeah, as Chloe said, like Oates and Flegler are begins. Oates has been out for 6 weeks with that broken jaw. I think people are reading into too much the Eels' victory on the weekend. They played an injury-ravaged Bulldogs side. Bulldogs had their full-strength side. I think it might have been a different game, but yeah. I think the Broncos will continue on their run. This game's up in Darwin too, so it'll be quite hot. Broncos will be used to that sort of humidity playing in Queensland. Yeah. So I think Parramatta's actually gone up to Darwin today to get used to the conditions. So, but yeah, I think the Broncos. I don't think it'll be as big as the score as many people think. I think the Broncos will get home in a close one, maybe by 6 to 8 points.
Yep, I'm going Broncos on that one purely because I hate Parramatta. Yeah, that's right. I said it. So speaking of the Bulldogs, they're taking on the Sharks on Saturday at 5:30.
I'll go first. I'll go first, hey.
No,
that's pushing it in.
I just want to say, Hazman said he doesn't like Parramatta, and I don't like the Bulldogs, and they are going to get absolutely pumped by the Sharks. They've got a million players out.
Did like a curse on them or something? Like did something happen?
If you got Josh Reynolds running off the bench, they're in trouble, I think. Yeah, but I think Sharkies by plenty.
If you got Josh Reynolds in your side these days, you pretty much bottom of the barrel at that point.
Yeah, I don't like the Bulldogs.
Bulldogs are one of those teams you either love them or you absolutely despise them.
They're like Manly.
Like Manly. And Parramatta and pretty much every other team.
Brisbane, Melbourne. Anyway, sorry. We digress.
We have a habit of digressing, don't we? Chloe, who have you got?
I'm going for the Sharks. Yeah, just the simple fact that is, the Bulldogs have got so many injuries, and yeah, I think the Sharks will.
Go on, Jess, your turn.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a unanimous one. Sharks by plenty. Bulldogs have way too many injuries. Sharks were very impressive against the Roosters. I'm one of many that think Nico Hines deserves an Origin debut this year. I think he should be partnering Nathan Cleary in the halves. He's just a brilliant footballer.
Yeah, well, if he didn't have those 4 or 5 weeks out at the start of the season, he'd be on top of Dally M's for sure.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah.
And I picked him for my Dally M medalist this year too. So
I think he's still up there. I think, yeah. But yeah, I think Cronulla by plenty, and he'll be in the thick of it again. Nico Hines, he's just a brilliant player. When he's playing at his best, the Sharks just do the players around him. They just know what job they have to do and compete and get it done. I think this is going to be a tough night for the Doggies.
Yeah, I think the Doggies' best chance in this one is if the Sharks get a flat tire on the way to the ground. So moving right along, we've got the Cowboys and Newcastle up at Queensland Country Bank Stadium. Who can we start with this time? Jesse.
I'm actually going to go the Newcastle Knights. I like the way they're playing at the moment. They're playing full of spirit. Kalen Pong is back, so that's a big in for him. They've been actually going well without him, but Kalen Pong, wherever he is, you know what kind of player he is. If he can get back to that form, and I wish him all the best for his return. Hopefully, he can get through without another concussion. The Cowboys they still haven't hit their straps this year. They've only had 2 wins, and they haven't been impressive. The Knights have been the reverse of that. Tamalolo is a big out for them. Their leader, he probably the most meters of their pack, heart and soul of that team. Ruben Cotter goes into lock to replace him. They get Jordan McLean back, but I think they miss Tamalolo's go forward. I think I'm going to go to the Knights. I think the Knights can knock them over up in Townsville in a close one.
Chloe, how do you see this one going down?
Well, also just going to everyone, it's actually Kalen Ponga's 100th game apparently that I heard. So, this is another one that is a bit tricky. But yeah, like Jesse, like last week they could have won. So yeah, I might actually go and Knights. That's it. I just think Knights.
All right, Big T.
I'm going to go the other way, even though Kalen Pong is back, and yes, he is playing his 100th game. I think up in Townsville, the Cowboys are a different team. I know they got beat by the Warriors in Townsville early on, but Jordan McLean back. I think in a very, very close one, even though they have lost Tamalolo, Cowboys in a close one.
Yeah, I'm in full agreement with that.
And again, it's only Tuesday. My tips might change.
I just think the home ground advantage might just be enough.
Yeah, I think so.
If it was at Newcastle, I'd probably tip Newcastle because they kick up another game at home as well. I think most teams do, pretty much except us. So we'll move on to Sunday. Dolphins and the Titans at Suncorp. Chloe?
This is actually going to be an interesting game because they've got, so the Titans will have AJ Brinson back and some other people, I don't know them all, but and then the Dolphins will have like Kafusi, Edric Lee, Jared Wallace, but the out is Kenneth Bromwich, so he's out. And then for the Titans, it's Tino's brother, he's out, Isaac Venomous. Again, I can't say it.
You love saying that, don't you, Big T?
I love it. I love it.
Just love showing off.
So I think I'm going to go the Dolphins. I might go the Dolphins. I'm going to tip the Dolphins just because I don't really like Tino after what he did to Sloan. So yeah, go up the Fins.
Up the Fins. She said up the Fins.
Fins up. Fins up.
Fins up. That's the one. Yeah.
Yeah.
Big T.
Yeah. No. Where are they playing at? Where's it at?
Suncorp.
That's Suncorp. Hey, they're not playing well at Suncorp, the old Titans. The old Dolphins. Yeah, I think AJ Brinson back. Yeah, the loss of Isaac Fasul-Malaawi. That's a big loss for them off the bench. You know, like he's a good player, Isaac Fasul-Malaawi. He's a very, very, very good player. No. I'm gonna go the other way. I'm gonna get the Titans. I think. Yeah, the loss of Isaac Fasul-Malaawi. That's a big loss, but they'll win. I think.
Come on, Big T. You're taking the piss now.
You just purpose.
Promise I won't say Fasul-Malaawi again.
Is he your man crush now?
Tino?
Yeah.
No, Isaac.
Oh.
He's my man crush.
Just like Hazman and Jackson Ford.
Oh, don't even talk about it.
I'd change my name if I married him. I'd change my name. Fasul-Malaawi. All right, move along.
Right.
Move along.
Moving right along. Jesse, who have you got?
I'm going fins up. I think the Dolphins. I think the
Fins
Dolphins
up.
can win this one. They get Felice Kafusi back from suspension. Bennett won't be happy with their performance last week. I'm sure he'll get them bouncing back. It's another big game for them against another Queensland side. Suncorp Stadium. I think everything points towards a Dolphins win.
Okay, I'm going to disagree with you there. I think it's the team that beat us versus the team we beat. So for that reason, I'm going to go Titans on that one. Now the next game is Tigers v Sea Eagles at Campbelltown Sports Stadium. We'll start with you this time, Chloe. Do you think the Tigers might be able to finally crack it for a win?
Well, with the way that Sea Eagles played last week, I doubt it. But I just saw that there's a few coming in from the Tigers, like Dane Laurie, David Nafalumu. That's all I know. But actually, no, I'm really sorry, Tigers. I feel sorry for you, but no, I'm going to go Sea Eagles. They just played really well last week, and Cherry Evans did so much grit and determination. So I might, even though they're not really my team, but I'll go for Manly.
Big T?
Yeah, I'm actually going up to this game. I've got a couple of mates. I've got a Manly mate and a Tigers mate. I'm going to wear my Dragons jersey up. Look for me on the sideline. I'll be waving my arms. Like this. Like, I have a big red V on, so I'll stick out. Yeah, Dewey out, Naden out for the Tigers. They do get Laurie back. Is Laurie playing?
It's on the bench.
I don't think he's on the bench. He's on the bench. North Luma's not playing. Alex Seafar. Yeah, I think at Campbelltown, Manly will be too strong.
Yeah, I tend to agree. Jesse?
Yeah, I like Manly in this one. Cherry Evans had a blinder last week. They actually bashed Melbourne out of that game. Interesting, the Tigers have gone for a rookie fullback, name of Jareem Buller, Kebra Park Jr. So Tim Sheens has handed him his NRL debut this week. So interestingly, I thought he would have recalled Dane Laurie there, but they handed the debut to young Jareem Buller. I think he's a 19 or 20-year-old. I don't think it's this week for Tigers fans. I think Manly will be far too strong. I think Manly 13 plus.
Yeah, I don't see the Tigers getting anywhere near Manly. A, the way they're playing, B, the way Manly are playing. I honestly don't know where their first win's going to come from. I mean, maybe the Sea Eagles bus breaks down on the way to the ground. That's about their only chance, I'd say.
Manly welcome back Ruben Garrick and Josh Schuster as well, so they're big ins for them.
Massive ins, yeah.
Aaron Woods has kept his spot on the side too.
He thought he scored a try last week. Yeah. I'll do the next one. Hey, Hez.
Melbourne Warriors.
Melbourne the Warriors.
Ooh,
Big
that's going to
game.
be a good game.
You got Nick Meaney back. Nelson Asifa Solomona. That's another name I like saying, Nelson Asifa Solomona.
The other
So if I can't say Asifa Solomona, I'll just call him Big Nelson. But, yeah, they lose 2 at Kamakamika, Melbourne, but I just think I don't know about this one because the Warriors have won a couple of games in Melbourne. Yeah, I'm going to tip Melbourne in a close one. Extra point to play.
Jesse?
I think Melbourne just not with any confidence though. Nelson Asada Solomon is the big in for them. Not with any real confidence, but I've been really impressed with how the Warriors are going. Nickel Klukstad, another one you could try and pronounce Big T. Nickel Klukstad.
Nickel Klukstad. I've been practicing that one as well. Nickel Klukstad.
He's been going quite well. And big Dallin Wateni Zeleznia.
That's another good one. I love that name too. Oh, I love them all.
He made his return last week. He did quite well. Sean Johnson's in career best form. I think he's really found found his vintage form. He's running. Jackson Ford's he's finding his feet in first grade at last. Good to see him enjoying his footy, and he's in that starting back row. He's really excelled in that. And Tohu Harris is another one that's really leading his Warriors side around well. I'm gonna lean towards the Melbourne Storm purely because it's at Amy Park, and I don't think Craig Bellamy will be very happy with the way they played last week. I think they don't lose 2 in a row too often. Big occasion, Anzac Day. I think they'll rise to it. They always rise on a big occasion. I think they get the chocolates in a close one. I think they won't win convincingly. I think the way the Warriors have been playing, I think it'll be very close.
Holly, do you see the Warriors getting up against the Storm, or is it going to be yet another Melbourne victory?
Oh, well, this is my team that I hate with a passion.
Oh.
So I know Melbourne's good down there, but I also like the Warriors. I loved what the Manly did to them last week. You know, bashed a bit into Cameron Munster. I was like, yeah, you go. Come on. So I'm going to go Warriors. I'm going to be an upset, but I think it's going to be like Sean Johnson, little kick, and it's going to be like, whoo, you know? So, yeah, come on, Warriors. Got to win.
Can I just also say that Marcelo Montoya has got the best Formula One racing driver's name in the NRL. Hey? How good would his name be in an F1 car? Marcelo Montoya. That's a great Formula One driver's name.
Got the speeder one too.
He has.
Now, I'm going to go against the grain here for 2 reasons. Number 1, Sean Johnson. Number 2, Jackson Ford. He's been absolutely killing it. Yeah, you knew I was going to say it. Don't act surprised.
Oh my goodness. Oh, my gosh.
You're going to go back in for a meat pie?
You want to talk about fanboys? Well,
you get a try, Hazman?
Who's going to get a try?
I reckon you score the game-winning try.
Who will?
Jackson Ford.
I'm going to say every week too that we're on. I missed out the last time. I said Alex 12 to score his first try.
Well, if you say that every week, Tony, eventually
it's going to happen. It's going to happen. I know it.
Eventually, you're going to be right.
So who's got the record for not scoring a try? I think
he does.
Does he?
I think he does
now.
Oh, Jesus. I know there was a player for West Tigers that went 10 years without scoring a try. A bald-headed fella. I can't think of his name now, but he went a number of years without scoring a try.
Jesse, any idea who that might be?
I'm looking into it.
Bald-headed one.
Bryce Gibbs, 134 games.
Oh, I remember Bryce Gibbs.
Old West Tigers front row. So it must be a good thing of the playing.
It's a West Tigers. The blocker scored 3 now, so he's off the mark. Good on him.
So yeah, once you get your one off, then it's going to be quicker to get 2 and 3.
It's Jack Bell's turn now to score.
We'll have to call him Pringles. Now he's popped, you just can't stop. Hey, come on, son. Get in there.
Locker's a try scoring freak now.
No, I apologise for my behaviour tonight. I've been drinking red cordial. I'm sorry.
You're going hypo.
He's three tries in the season. He's an absolute disgrace to props.
Yeah, that's right, he is.
Props aren't supposed to score, but he's doing it anyway. Okay, so let's hit up our the game that we all want to know about. Roosters, Dragons, Anzac Day. Big T.
Teddy to score the first try of the game. And I go Tau Moga to score the anytime try. I was right last week too, but I got it wrong around the other way. I said Feeney to score the first try and Moga to score anytime. But Moga did score any time because he scored his second try. Teddy first, Moga to score anytime. Oh, it's breaking my heart, but Roosters by 8. Oh.
By 8. Chloe.
First time, hoping maybe I'll give Sully a turn. Sully. And anytime I'm gonna go Jack DeBellin. Okay, I'll just say Dragons by 4. Hopefully, come on, fingers crossed. Let's all manifest that Zach can actually kick a goal. Come on, guys.
Well, if he gets rid of that bloody short kick and tee he's been using, that might help.
Yeah.
Jesse, you reckon we can get it done again?
No, I can't see us lifting. The whole game's going to be watching this, though. Like, there'll be eyes on. Everyone will be watching this, even the outside supporters. I think this, as I said before, it's the biggest game of the season outside grand finals and origins and that. But yeah, it's going to be a big occasion. They've got to play with that Anzac spirit. I think that's what they did last year when they won that game last year. It's a different team this year. I just can't see where we see it turn around. I think while everything that's going on with the coaching situation and Hook's future, and I just can't see any light at the end of the tunnel. I think the Roosters will have a run. They'll run amok. I think they'll win by 20 points. I think they'll be far too strong for us. I think Teddy will score the first try, like Big T. I'll back Moga to get a try at any point in the game, but yeah, I think the Roosters will be far too good.
Yeah, I think you might be pretty close to the mark there. I'm going to pick Suaalii to score the first try. I'm going to say Tyrell Sloan to get off another little pass and score under the post. And I'm going to say Roosters by 22. Now, one interesting fact is the last 15 games that we've played against the Roosters, we've only had 4 wins, and they've all been on Anzac Day. So that's something for us to cling on to. We do all right on Anzac Day.
We've got a couple of viewers. Tolly says the Dragons by 4 points. Larry Flick, Sully to score anytime, Tupou to score first try, and the Dragons win by 4. Thanks, boys.
I think we've won the majority of the Anzac Day games as well. Oh, here it is. I just got this stat. So the Dragons have won 9 of the past 14 Anzac Day games. Zach Lomax has 5 tries in 8 games against the Roosters.
So there we go.
Some key stats.
He doesn't mind playing the Roosters, does he?
Zach Lomax is going to make you two eat your words.
Well, I hope he does. I really do.
I hope he does. Like, he's done, no offense to Zach, and this is him on my high horse right now. Sorry, everyone. But, he really hasn't shown himself. And like Hazman said, yes, change your bloody stupid chicken tea, mate. Like, and I don't normally bag my players out. I'm just giving them encouragement, criticism, but I'm just a couch coach. What do I know? But come on, Zach. I've got faith in you this week. Come on.
And Daryl Halligan, I read it. He's been the one teaching Lomax the goal kicking, as well as Sal. So he's learning off one of the greatest kickers of all time there.
Wow. Amazing.
He's the one that invented the kicking tee as well.
Hmm.
Daryl Halligan, he was the first one to bring the kicking tee out.
I still remember when they used to do the stand, you know?
I remember when they used to kick a hole in the ground. Yeah, they did. We used to do it in the 80s.
Wow.
hole
Did
in
somebody
the
have to hold
ground.
the ball?
We done that as well.
But yeah,
We used to wear hats too. No, we didn't. No, we didn't. I didn't play that far back.
it's going to be an interesting game. Hopefully the boys can live for it because, yeah, it's a special
ANZAC
day.
Day, anything can happen,
Yeah.
man.
And
All right,
yeah,
boys,
we
we might wrap it up there. So it's a bit of a long show tonight. Thanks everyone for tuning in, and we shall see you on the Sunday review show after Tuesday, I think.
Dragons for life, baby.
Come on, Dragons fans, fire up.
fire up.
All right. Let's go.